Have you ever entered the court during open play and your partner asked, hey, you want to stack? But then gotten flustered because stacking is confusing and I don't want to look like an idiot, but also I want to stack with this person because frankly, their backhand sucks and I don't want to eat pickleballs all game because of their pop-ups. If that's happened to you, then fear no longer because this is the most comprehensive guide to pickleball stacking on YouTube. Hi, I'm Xavier and this is my dad, and we help players who are struggling at the 3.0, 3.5 level become confident and respected 4.0 players so they can play smarter, get invited to higher level games, and finally feel proud of their performance on the court. So before we actually get started in teaching you how to stack, we have to understand what stacking actually is, so I can explain that to you right now. Stacking is essentially you and your partner positioning yourselves before the serve or the return in a non-traditional way, so that way, via a movement after you hit your serve or return, you can play on your preferred side of the court.
So why would you want to do that?
Well, there are a couple of different reasons why you would want to stack. The main ones being either maybe you have a righty and a lefty partnership and you want to keep your forehands in the middle. Maybe you have a more dominant player on your team who likes to take more of the balls, so you can stack them on the left side, so that way their forehand is in the middle and they're able to take more of the balls. Or maybe you just have a side that you prefer playing. Like for example, I like to play the right side a lot of the time with my men's partners. And so we often stack so that way they can play on the left and I can play on the right. We can kind of play out our different roles that way, depending on the side of the court that you play on. Okay, so traditionally speaking, when you're scoring in pickleball and when you're switching sides with your partner, typically what's going to happen is you're going to be serving the ball. We'll have this be you and this be your partner. You're going to serve the ball, let's say they miss it right in the net like that. You guys earn a point, yay for you, and then you and your partner would switch sides like this. And that's your traditional way to rotate within a pickleball game, and that's how you're going to see most people do it. So now you're serving from that side, the score is 1-0-2, and you're serving this way. The problem with this is, you're potentially on the wrong side of the court that you want to be on, whether that means you prefer to play the right side or you have a lefty partner and now both your backhands are in the middle. And so stacking is the way to solve this problem, and we'll explain how to stack here in a minute. But essentially, stacking is a way for you guys to now get back on your proper side. So you would stack your partner to the outside of the court from you. You would serve the ball here 1-0, slide over, and now you and your partner are in the proper position where now you're back on the right side where you would like to play, and you're playing from a position of strength here, playing out your role within that point.
So tell me, why is this okay?
Yeah, so this is legal because within the game of pickleball, when your score is a certain number, whether that's even or odd, there's a specific side of the court that you need to stand on. So when you start the game, we'll just go back to 0-0-2 like this. This is you, this is your partner. When you start the game, every time the score is even, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, you're gonna start on the side of the court that you started on at the beginning of the game. So if you started on the right side and the score is even, you're gonna serve or return from that side of the court. Now, if the score is odd, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, that's when you're gonna be serving from the other side of the court, your less preferred side, and this is where stacking comes into play, right? Because when you're serving on the odd side of the court, you have to serve from that side of the court, but you don't have to stay on that side of the court for the remainder of the point. That's where stacking comes into play.
If our score is 3, you have to serve from this side, and you're doing that through the stack, but now you're allowed to get on your side after the serve that you prefer to be on.
Exactly, that's exactly the way it works. And you can do this on the return of serve as well. We'll get into exactly how you want to move and position yourself for serving and returning here in a minute, but that's kind of the basis of stacking and how it works. So it's really important to remember even in odd scores and where you're supposed to stand when your score is even or when your score is odd. Okay, so now Dad and I are going to show you what it looks like to stack when you are the serving team. So we're pretending our opponents were the first servers of the game, they serve 0-0-2, and we immediately get a side out. Now we have gained possession of the ball. The score is 0-0-1. So on this possession, both of us are going to get a chance to serve. So I'm going to start the game 0-0-1. I serve the ball. It's in. They don't not even close to touching it. Direct ace.
Nice serve.
Perfect serve. So now the score is 1-0. Because we're trying to stack, we decided beforehand, I want to start on the right side, you want to play on the left side, and we're going to play out our roles this way. Because we decided to stack, we're not going to traditionally, like you would, switch sides this way where he would now play on the right. Now we're going to stack it, which means he's going to shift over this way. I'm going to have to serve on this side because our score is odd. Anytime the score is odd, you're in a stacked position. So I'm going to serve from this side now because the score is odd. The score is 1-0-1. I'm going to serve the ball like that, and then I'm going to slide over to my side this way. Now we're on our preferred sides. I'm on the right side like we agreed. He just stays on the left side over there, and we play out the remainder of this point on our preferred sides of the court, playing out our roles like we normally would.
I think the confusing thing for some people is where are you supposed to be at what point? And sometimes people get so confused they're actually in the wrong spot. So it's really important to know this. And it's also important to note that you can't just serve from wherever you want to serve. You have to actually serve from where the score is at. So like we said, when it's odd, you're in a stacking position. When you're even, you're in a normal position.
Right. So let's say on that point, for example, it was 1-0-1, we serve the ball, I slide over, we play it out, and we lose that point. Now it's gonna go to the second server, and because the score is still odd, 1-0-2, we're still gonna be going from a stacked position, and Dad is gonna be the server now because he's the second server. So now the score is 1-0-2, he's gonna serve it, ba-bam, and slide over to his side this way. Now again, we're on our preferred sides.
So tell me about what happens when we are returning the serve.
Yes, good point. So right now, right, you were serving 2-0-2. Let's say you missed that serve and we lose that point, resulting in a side out where our opponents now gain possession of the ball. We ended that side out with an even numbered score. We have 2, that's even.
Okay.
So what that means is we're playing on our preferred side already. No stacking needs to happen. So you're just gonna go up like you normally would, and I'm gonna return for my position. We're already in our preferred position. So now they're gonna serve to me, boom, I'm gonna return it, I'm gonna run up, and we're playing exactly like we would normally. I'm on the right side, my preferred side, you're on the left side. So no switching needs to happen
No
there.
stacking happens when your score is even.
So it makes it really simple.
Let's say I serve.
Boom, right by him.
It is a blistering serve. They can't return it. Now the score is
3-0-2, so now
this
we're
one,
here.
I got a little cocky, and I served it again and went in the net. Ah, shoot.
Shoot, okay, so now
Now
we...
it's 3-0, side out, the opponents have the ball.
We ended it on a side out, odd numbered score. This is where it gets tricky because now, technically, you're supposed to be on this side, which means you have to return from this side.
Yeah, because it's odd.
Which means if I was to just play it like normal and go up to here, now you would be coming up to your not preferred side of the court. That's a bummer. So there's 2 ways that we can unwind this stack so that way he ends up back on the left side, I end up back on the right side, and everything can go through kumbaya. So the first way to do it is I'm just gonna stack myself on this side of the court over here. So I'm standing here, they're gonna serve to you, he's gonna return
the ball.
He's gonna go to his side of the court over here. I'm gonna fill in my side of the court right here. Now, we've unwinded our stack. He's on the left side, I'm on the right side, and we're going from a returning position. Now, that's one way that you can do it. There's a couple people that don't really like that way because you kind of leave a gap right in the middle. So the other way that you can do it is I can just go to the side that I should be standing on according to our score and according to our positioning. And then what I can do is after he returns the ball like that, boom, he's gonna come to his side, I'm gonna move over and slide over to this side, just like you would with kind of that serving, stacking motion. And now, once again, we're on our preferred sides of the court. Now, when you do that specific way, typically what's going to happen is I'm going to give him some kind of hand signal to signify that I'm going to switch. So universally among pickleball enthusiasts, if you put a flat open palm up behind your paddle or behind your back, that signifies that you're going to switch. If let's say you did a fist like this, that means that you're going to stay and you're just not going to stack for that point.
Tell me a little bit about the advantage of unwinding starting here instead of from an out of bounds position.
Right, so go back to where you were going and I can show you. So when we're starting here, I give him this hand signal like that, he sees it, yep, okay, cool. So that means that we're going to switch. So the advantage of this as opposed to standing on that side is, let's say he returns the ball. If we're strategic about where he returns it, so let's say he returns it down his line that way.
Which is the best place to do it if you're gonna unwind that stack.
If you're gonna unwind the stack, and the reason for that is because that keeps the ball in front of me as the person coming over to this side. Because he has such a long distance to travel, we wanna not put the ball in front of him because that exposes this line right here. So he's gonna return down the line, I'm gonna start to shift over. Now the ball is in front of me here. It gives him plenty of time to get to his side. And as I'm shifting over this way, because I'm coming from that side of the court as opposed to the sideline, I have a really easy avenue to kind of cover this middle as he's getting to his side of the court. So I have all of the bases covered. Because the ball is over here, I can cover my line. Because I'm sliding over through the middle, I can cover the middle. And then somehow if they're hitting the ball over to that side, he'll be able to get there. That's a low percentage shot. We can kind of give him that, and that's totally fine. So
tell me, why would anybody want to stack from the out of bounds position then?
The reason you would want to stack from the out of bounds position here is because maybe you don't want to have any confusion with the hand signals. Maybe you get it wrong, whatever it might be. If you don't want to have any confusion at all about where you're going or what you're doing, you stack here and then you just go to your side this way.
And you're set up for the stack being there. It's like you have to stack when you're on that side.
Yeah, there's no way that I'm going
in that
to
direction.
Side. Yeah.
So the other thing too is if you are fast, young, this kind of makes sense because I can return the serve and I can get there quick. If you're not so fast, then it's probably better to have your partner start inbounds and switch places in the stack because they can actually cover that middle a little bit better and it buys you a little bit more time to get to your spot. And the other thing to do if you struggle with that is give yourself a little more arc on the return, which buys you a little bit more time to get into position instead of hitting that rocket return and you're only in this spot by the time they're hitting the ball back to you. They have a full open court.
So those are the main ways that you unwind the stack when on return, and then be strategic with where you're putting your return in front of your partner and give it some loft so you have plenty of time to get to where you're going. Okay, so now Dad and I are gonna address two of the most common mistakes that we see when people start to stack. So the first one is going to be when we're in this position here where we ended on an odd number and we're going to unwind the stack this way, where I'm gonna replace him there, he's gonna come diagonally and replace me here, so we're on our preferred side. So the way that you do this, again, you put up a hand signal, and then depending on what you say, you switch accordingly. Now, the biggest thing is a lack of partner communication. So whether that be I show him the wrong hand signal, or he sees the hand signal wrong, or he doesn't even see it at all. And so what ends up happening is I call switch like this, he doesn't see it, I go to my side right here, he goes up to my side as well.
What are you doing?
Oh crap, we're in the wrong spot, and now that is completely exposed over there. Really easy point for your opponents to win there. So the way to address this and a way to make sure this doesn't happen is just be really clear with your partner about what you're doing. So I have my hand up here, I show it to him, he confirms,
got it.
Yes, he's got it, okay, cool, boom, they return, and then we go to our sides, and easy breezy, no problem with that at all.
So there's one other one that's even more common, I think, when it comes to making a mistake. And by the way, making mistakes in the stack, if you're playing in a tournament, will actually cause you to lose a point or give a side out. So you can't make mistakes, you can't be in the wrong position. So it's really important, especially when you're playing in tournaments. When you're playing rec play, your opponents probably will have grace for you, but you'll feel like an idiot because you made a mistake and you're like, I am in the wrong position and I don't know how I got here. And then it gets confusing and you're sitting on the court just like discussing this and trying to figure it out. You've been there, so you don't want to do that. This is where this one comes in even more commonly. You're serving in an odd position, it's 3-0-2, I serve the ball, they return, I hit my third shot, drop into the net, and now it's a side out. I'm here in the position that I think I'm going to be, and so I just move up and they're gonna start serving the ball. I'm not in the right position right here because we're stacking in an odd position. I should be on that side, but because naturally I was on this side when the side out happened and I came up here, now I'm in the wrong spot. I should be over there. So you have to remember when there's a side out, always to think, what is my score? It's odd, so therefore I need to be in the stacking position, which means I'm gonna be returning on this side. He gives me the hand signal, we're gonna switch, and then we can go back to that spot. You can't just decide, okay, I'm on this side and now I'm gonna return from this side. If the ref catches you doing that, it'll be a point for the other team.
If you like this video and it piqued your interest and you want to learn a little bit more about pickleball doubles strategy, then what I want you to do is click the link down in the description below and download the mini doubles playbook. It's a PDF that goes over 5 of the best doubles plays out of our doubles playbook that we've selected that's perfect for the 3-0-3-5 player. So if that's interesting to you, you want to learn a little bit more about pickleball strategy, go ahead and download the PDF down in the description below. And if you want to hear a little bit more about how I broke out of the 3-5 plateau, what I want you to do is click this video right up above in the corner up there. It's 7 insights that I wish someone had told me when I was a 3-5. Go ahead and click that video up there if you want to learn more.